Guys, a lot of our altcoins are mooning right now. All the trades that I have given are massive in profits. And now the big question is this potential Bitcoin drop cancelled? And should we go back in the market with all our capital? That is something that we need to talk about today. So let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on this Saturday. A little bit boring for me, to be honest, so even though the market is running a little bit, but yeah, for me, nothing really special happening. And I'm going to explain you exactly what I mean by that. So we start off here by going into the DXY. Friday has closed below 106.5 points, which is definitely bullish. I expect next week that the dollar will keep falling here into lower levels. And I can tell you that Bitcoin will see another massive run here when we start to get under 104.5 points. At that level, you're going to see Bitcoin definitely making another move to the upside. Until then, I'm going to show you in a moment what I believe what's going to happen until then. If we just keep going sideways, if we go down, if we go up, in the meantime a little bit, I'm going to show you that exactly. But I think when we get here to 104 points, you're going to see a really nice move in Bitcoin. When we're going to the Bitcoin CME chart, so really funny enough, on a Friday where we close CME again, we actually managed to close the previous CME gap. It is really rare that happens on the same day where CME is closing, but it happens sometimes. That's that kind of delayed. So we closed it. We went actually a little bit higher on CME than we did in the past. So on CME, we created a new all-time high with $100,350 and then came straight back down. So now for the coming week, let me actually move this quick around here. The closing price was at $98,500. And I will be honest, I don't believe that we will open above that price because it would be too close to the $100,000 level. I don't see it that we are opening close to it. So current price is around 96,400 or something, 700. So here's the current price. So here again, chances that we are going up next week at some point are potentially high, because if we keep trading around the current Bitcoin price, we create here an almost $2,000 CME gap. And again, these gaps get rather sooner than later always filled. So now let's jump into Bitcoin to see what's going on with Bitcoin. Here on the stochastic RSI on 12-hourly chart, you start to see what I was mentioning yesterday, where I said that the stochastic looks like that it's rolling over. And every time when the stochastic is rolling over, usually what we get is a move to the downside. So we did not get that move to the downside yet. This can still reverse at the same time, guys. So even though the stochastic is not looking good right now, if Bitcoin starts to break here higher and goes over $99,000 and over that upward sloping resistance line currently, then the stochastic will just get a bounce and will keep pushing to the upside. But if that's not happening, then I expect that not only the stochastic will roll over with a sell signal, I expect the MACD doing the same thing, starting to print red candles, which will then mean that selling is intensifying, and also that the RSI will then also start to roll over here. Because you should not forget, on the VPVR, we are below that big cluster here that gave us previously support when we were here. This area on the VPVR is currently acting as resistance. That's why we are not breaking higher, and at the same time, the upward sloping trend line is also acting as resistance. So unless we get at least a 4-hourly close above $98,400, Bitcoin is not going anywhere. So the only direction that Bitcoin can go is either sideways to gain momentum to push through, or sideways slowly down and then get the bounce back to the upside on the higher time frames. On the 1-hourly time frame, a really short time frame, we could see a short-lived move to the upside because Bitcoin is here in a falling wedge pattern. The falling wedge pattern has a target here of $98,200. So we could see a move all the way up here, but it would be still a lower high because we had here our higher high, lower high, lower high. And if we come up here, it would be just another lower high. So which is also a bearish signal that Bitcoin might still come down at some point. So maybe not tomorrow, maybe not after tomorrow, but I still expect that Bitcoin is coming down here in the next 5 to 7 days at some point with that leverage flush that we are waiting for, because there's still too much leverage in the market. I showed you yesterday how hot the funding rates are. Again, in a bull market, they can stay a really long time like this, but at some point you get that flush, and that flush usually comes when you least expect it. So in here, like I said, short term, you could get a nice move here to the upside. You can scalp trade this if you want to, but I tell you honestly, I rather sit on my cash. So I rather sit on my cash right now and only trade with a small portion of it just to play around. So and that applies not only to Bitcoin, that applies to everything that I'm trading currently. So here on the MDX algo gradients, scalp gradients, also here you see price is going down while price is heating up. So this is also a really bearish sign usually when you see something like this, because I want to show it to you here in the past. Look here, we got, let me actually find the right place where it happened the last time where we got something like this and then went down. I need to go back here a little bit if I can find it. So let's see. Sorry guys, these candles need to load a little bit. Okay, I cannot find it now immediately, but I have seen it in the past. That the gradients were heating up while the price was coming down. And then at some point from here, that red area, you were basically seeing the price cooling down again, and then you got the flush. So also here you see that we get rejected from the golden ratio here, which is also bearish, in combination with the upward sloping trend line. And also here, the reactor indicator is also cooling down again, which also is another indication that we potentially flush to the downside. So the only problem with that is that I still see the potential that we first go and touch $100,000 and then come down. But that we are coming down is uninventable, guys. It's uninventable. It has to happen. It has to happen. It happens in every single bull market, guys. I see a lot of you guys panicking in the Telegram group and also in other places saying, you say we are going down and now everything is 20% higher. It's a bull market, guys. 20% right now means nothing. So in a bull market, we're here for 2,000, 5,000, 10,000% gains by the end of the bull market. What does 20% matter that you miss out right now, especially when a flush is coming and you get everything cheaper, so it doesn't matter. That's why I'm not caring about where the price is right now. I'm caring about where the price is in a week or two when we get the flush. So and now I want to show you here on ZoomX. Okay, my phantom trade is doing well, so I'm up here $4,000, but you see I have a lot of limit orders, 18 limit orders, and I'm sitting mostly in my cash, so mostly in my cash. With how much am I trading right now? Less than 10% of my portfolio that I have on ZoomX. So if I lose that, it doesn't matter. If the market crashes 30%, then I can buy back minus 30% on the way out and then go all in and make it all back in maybe in a single day. And make even more profit. It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes the best trade is no trade. And the biggest lesson that I have learned from many bull runs is preserving capital is everything. You need to preserve your capital. You can always win money in the market, but keeping it is the hard part. So we will most likely all make stupid money in the next 12 months. But keeping the money that you made so stupid, that will be the really hard part for the coming years, that you have. Because you have to compare that to somebody that plays the lottery. You know, somebody that plays the lottery maybe never had money in his life. You know, so he won. He had maybe a regular job, maybe no job. There's even people that have no job, and they win from today to tomorrow. They win $5 million, $10 million. Go now and Google and look up how many of these people actually kept the money and were not ending up broke or were even ending up in more debt than they had before. I think I read this it was not a long time ago that I actually read about this. I think there is in the whole world, I think only 5% of all lottery winners were able to keep the money or invest the money smart enough that they either still have the same or actually a little bit more. And everybody else is losing everything or is in debt. And the same thing will happen in this market here right now. You know, so if you're stupid with how you act with the money that you make, you know, so or not understand that sitting on the sidelines waiting for a drop that will give you a huge opportunity to make even more money than what you potentially would have made right now, then maybe this is not the right place for you. You know, so you need to understand this. Only when you understand this, you will also keep the money that we are making here. So, and that's why I have no problem at all to sit here with still over $200,000 that are not allocated in limit orders. You know, so because that is the money that I want to deploy when the market starts dropping, and then maybe even buy cheaper than the limit orders that I have put in. You know, so but I have over $400,000 in limit orders already. You know, for that drop that's coming. So, and this is the way how to approach that, you know. So, and again, guys, ZoomX, amazing exchange. If you want to trade there, sign up with the link in the description. You still get deposit bonuses if you sign up there. And even though if you're not in a trading competition, you can still trade with us together. A $500 portfolio into $10,000. I go here in a second in the altcoin trades that I had given just yesterday. They are all exploding. So you're not too late for that just yet, you know, so take advantage of that. Now with Bitcoin, and going back to Bitcoin here really quick. Oops, sorry guys. So here, back to Bitcoin. On the liquidation levels, you see here also right now, Bitcoin is kind of in no man's land, trapped between the high leverage liquidity on the short side and the high leverage liquidity on the long side to the downside. But also here you see there is a gradual move slowly grinding to the downside. A touch in the next coming hours here to $95,765 would be not crazy, you know. So just to take out here some 50x longs that are sitting here for people that came again late to the party, and then go here a little bit higher back to like 98,700 to take out the shorts over the weekend and then send it back down. Here on the liquidation levels, you see that low leverage shorts are more and more building up here around the $103,000 level. And I can tell you they will be taken out at some point. You know, they will be taken out at some point. They will go for the liquidity up here. But the high leverage liquidity in the market is currently building up below us. So more and more people get now confident that the drop is not coming and are using high leverage to take advantage of the potential next move to the upside that's coming. And that is, again, really, really dangerous, guys, because the more comfortable people get that the drop is not coming anymore, the more likely it becomes actually that it's actually happening, you know. So, and then these are the people down here that will get caught off guard when it's actually happening, and they get liquidated and potentially sidelined for the entire remainder of this bull run, you know. So they get wiped out because a friend told them, hey, Bitcoin is almost $100,000 here, use my link to sign up on Bybit or wherever, you know. So and they get a kickback or whatever deal they made with Bybit, you know. So and this person has no clue how to trade and gets flushed out, you know, when the market is dropping because a friend told them, hey, go all in, you know, 50x YOLO, let's do it, let's do this, let's get together rich, you know, and stuff like that. So now on the liquidation heat map, here also the last 24 hours, let me actually go here to the 2 weekly, or the last 2 weeks. So here, still, the highest concentrated liquidation area would be for shorts between $100,000 and $99,000. But you see that we start eating into a level below us here, $96,200. I expect when we break $96,000 that we get a long squeeze to the downside, at least to like 94,500, something like that. And when we go to the monthly, then look at this here. So here's also a lot of liquidity building up right now around the $90,000 level. So may I have been wrong that we go to 87, 88, $84,000 for Bitcoin? Maybe we only go to like 90, 89, something like that. Okay, that's fine. So I take it. I missed it by a percent, a percent or two. Who cares? But this area here looks for me really, really attractive because everybody is expecting this here. Everybody is expecting this, and then the most likely outcome is coming first, and the least expected, and that would be that we go all the way down here before we go all the way up here. Now on the weekly chart, we've also almost completely retraced that whole move to the downside. But here's also something really dangerous about this, because there's two ways how this can play out next week. And we're going to see it on Monday. Either you see next week the candle going up here, and we get the continuation candle that I laid out as one scenario, or we create a topping pattern and this kind of comes down. And then we have here a nice Morningstar pattern where we then, on the weekly chart, then potentially get the next week looking like this, the following week something like this, and then after this we get here the nice push over $100,000, and then you see Bitcoin continuing moving like this. So again, in a bull market, so flushes are healthy, guys. We need a flush to get moves like this here again in Bitcoin that we had here over the last 4 weeks. So only green candles. For that we need proper flushes to the downside to rinse out everybody that is unexperienced in this market. So shake out the weak hands, and then we get continuation to the upside. Now on Bybit, I can still get for you here the $500 free airdrop position, guys. But it's running out in 18 days, guys. 18 days left to get the free $500 airdrop position, and you want the free airdrop position on any of these coins, guys, when that drop is potentially coming. Because when the drop is coming, you can enter, and you will be really, really happy then when you are holding one of these. So the only thing that you need to do is deposit $100, claim the airdrop voucher, use the voucher, and all the profits that you make out of that are belonging to you. So there is a link in the description for that. So I have some trades running on Bybit currently, but also here I'm not trading with more than 10% of my portfolio on this account here. So am I currently a little bit in a loss? Yes. So am I willing to add more? No. I'm gonna cut them if I start losing a certain amount. So I just cut them, and I'm gonna leave it, and I wait that we go a little bit lower and potentially get a flush, and then I'm entering the market. Now the Bitcoin dominance is still going lower here. We dropped all the way down to 57.16%. Currently we get a small bounce from there to the upside. So, and this is the really, 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 how to say that? Let me try to find the right word. It slipped my mind, guys, slipped my mind, the word that I was looking for. Shit. Fake is the wrong word. It's not the word that I'm looking for. It's like, in Germany, I know it, so in German, in French, I forgot it. In Russian, I forgot it. In English, I forgot it. Horrible, guys. It's horrible when you forget the word that you're looking for in English, So, yeah, let's just say fake, So this looks to me here like a huge setup. So setup is a word that we can use for that, because it gives you the impression that the market is insanely running right now. So while Bitcoin is going slightly down and is at resistance. So, and I'm going to show you here in a moment that many altcoins currently at resistance, which makes it so dangerous that the dominance is going down and gives you a feeling of altcoin season while everything is at resistance. So the problem with that is can altcoins still run a couple percent before this is all crashing down on us? Yes, there's a lot of altcoins, they can still run 10, 20, even almost 40% before we get that flush. So can we take advantage of that? On some altcoins, yes, we can. Would I go now back all in into the market knowing that there's potentially 10, 20, 40% before you get that flush? No, hell no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's why I use 10% of my portfolio to play around left, right, and center on different exchanges, so but only with 10% because I want to have my money on the sideline from all my experience in past bull markets, knowing that this big discount for all my coins is coming, so I don't care if I have to wait another 5-10 days for that and see the market running, so yes, of course it hurts me, I'm also sitting here and I'm like, shit, I want to be in it, it's running, I want to make money, so but then I remind myself, wait, this is not your first time in a bull run, this is your third time already, so that's the second, that's the second, wait, no, so that's my fourth, but this is my third time, my third time that I actually know what I'm doing in a bull run, so that's what I was looking for, yes, 17, 20, yes, so 21 now, so the third time and that I actually know what I'm doing in a bull run, and I have seen it 3 times before, so I just wait. I just wait for that drop to be happening, so and when it's happening, then I have all my money. I have all my money that I made the last couple of weeks, in the last 6 weeks, where I 6x'd my portfolio on my trading account on Bybit and on ZoomX. On Bybit actually more, so on that current trading account, this is like, I don't know, 30x since, 30x in 5 weeks, so I started with like $7,000 and I'm now almost at 200,000 on Bybit. So, and I just wait, with all my money, and I'm gonna hit the buy button when it's dropping, when nobody else wants to buy again and panics and said the bull market's over, so that's it, that's when I press the buy button, and you're gonna see it will take a couple of hours, maybe 24 hours, maybe a day or two, but then I'm massively up on my positions that I've bought when nobody else wanted to buy, and here on the total free market cap, you also see that we are currently getting rejected from the $984 billion mark, which is really, really close to the top. So the top was here at $1.13 trillion, but we need to get over that line here to get to that high, So, and if we are not getting over the line, we're also not getting to that high. And I want to show you something from the last cycle, where we are at in terms of the total free market cap. So look at this here. So this was the high in the last altcoin run, or basically in the first real altcoin run in 2018, where we were sitting at $363 billion, so which was a lot at the time. And then we had here a nice run in 2021 and broke above that high. We got another week where we pushed higher, but then we got a flush. You always get a flush when you get close to these prior highs at some point. Even if you break that high, a week or two later, that flush is coming. And we are at this point right now, guys. We are at this point where we potentially break that line up here, and maybe we get another week where the market is running. Maybe even 2 weeks, but then the third week, that's where we go down. So, and that's, now maybe you understand why I'm waiting, so why I rather wait and only trade with a little bit of my money and potentially even make more money, with that small amount that I'm trading with, but I'm not risking 90% of the money that I already made. It would be insanely stupid to do this. It would be so stupid, It just doesn't make sense to do it. So what I would rather do? I'm going to show you something what I would rather do. Maybe because I think a lot of you guys actually don't know that about me. So before I do that, just go back here. So go back here on the weekly chart. So where we are at. So we are here close to that high, to a trillion. That is a trillion 0.1. So can we go up here? Yes, we can get another 30 billion to touch that. But then, you know, so then the flush is coming because look, 4 weeks only up for 4 weeks. So we have to come down. So now let me have a look quick in the chat, guys. And thank you so much, guys. 461 people watching live here, 480 almost. But guys, you cannot do this to me. Guys, come on. You cannot do this to me. You know, so only 89 likes. What's going on? You know, here's 480 people, 89 likes, 90 likes. Guys, come on. Destroy the like button. You know, more people need to see the stream, guys. Come on. This is a joke. You know, so this is a joke, guys. 90 likes. Come on. Oh, that is nice. That's better. We can do better, guys. So now I'm also willing to tell you what's going on. You know, so what I rather would do than looking at the charts right now. So, and that's also something that I'm actually gonna do when I bought the dip, when it's going to drop, when the market is not doing anything, because that's something a lot of people actually don't notice about me that are watching currently the stream. A lot of people in Dubai knew this, that I was doing that before I was in crypto. Like, for example, Carl, you know, the moon, he knows because I actually gave him a present related to that. But a lot of other people here, they don't know that, they don't notice about me. They don't notice about me. So what I would rather do is first have 200 likes, and then I'm going to tell you. So let's wait for 200 likes on the video. We are at 188. Come on. 12 guys need to hit the like button, guys. Let's do this. We can, yeah, another 7. Come on, another 7. You're amazing. Let's do this. Because I know you want to know. You want to know what I would rather do than watch at the charts. I'm sure that you would rather know what. Yeah, there we go, 200. Okay. So I'm going to show you something. I'm going to admit I was a little bit out of it. That's why I was not super professionally doing it in that video, because I did not do it for over 3 years. So, but look at this here. So I was playing drums at a music fair for that company here because they wanted that I potentially become a promoter for their brand, you know. So that's what I wanted, you know. So and that's why they filmed me and they put it on YouTube, you know. So here, this is something that a lot of people don't know. So I would rather play drums, guys. I would rather play drums. You know, I really would rather sit here and have a drum kit here and play drums when the market is doing nothing. You know, and I can only play with 10% of my capital. That would be so much more fun for me. You have no idea, guys. So really, you know. So that's what I would rather do. You know. So, but it's fine. It's fine. You know. So actually, when my Bybit account goes up the next time significantly, then I swore to myself I finally get a drum kit here in my new house. You know, I wanted to have one in my old house and I never did it, even when I had the money. You know, so now I spend a lot of money here on that new house to move here. Now I have to make a lot of money again. But I said the next time when I make a big chunk of money, I go and buy one. You know, so I finally gonna do that for the times when the market is not moving. So now when we look at Ethereum, that is one of the reasons why the market is actually running, is that Ethereum got a nice move here into $3,700 over the last 12 hours. But again, look at the stochastic. Stochastic rolling over, RSI, not overbought yet, but close to it. The RSI will be overbought when we close this daily candle today. And at the same time, we have a bearish divergence on the RSI. Look here, price is going up. RSI is not making a new high. So also here a warning sign that Ethereum might be coming down here in the short term. And the first level that I'm looking at is still the EMA ribbon or the bottom of that support range. Because here's the, I'm not so interested here on this PVR cluster because I think that we just slice through that on the way down. but the next underlying one, that's the one. That's the one where I'm gonna have close to it my limit orders. Now, the question is, can Ethereum run past 3,700 and go all the way up here before we get that massive dump to the downside? Yes, Ethereum can technically do that, because I think on the higher time frames there's still some room. Yes, here on the 4-hourly there's some room to actually manage to do that, but I think it will be just a wick up here, then it starts to come down, if it's going to happen. Then the Ethereum Bitcoin chart is the main reason why altcoins are pumping and Ethereum is pumping, because I called it all the way down here, so last week, where I said, hey, this starts to look like a reversal. We're going to get a bounce from here, and you're going to see Ethereum and a lot of altcoins running. And that's, again, exactly what happened here. Now, next week, I expect this also to come slightly down. Most likely gets a bounce here from 0.035 Bitcoin against Ethereum, and then the following week, then the next leg to the upside into this upward sloping, currently resistance at 0.04. Now Solana starts to break down here now. The EMA ribbon on the 4-hourly chart already. The EMA ribbon is not looking good. The way that it tried to keep that uptrend. Because now it starts to look like they will potentially lose the uptrend under this downward sloping resistance line. Again, another coin that is at resistance currently, where people first thought when we got back over $240, oh, now it's going back to the upside, So, and it's actually not, it's slightly coming down. And on a daily chart, when we are looking at the daily, also here, this does not look good. Look at this. RSI pointing to the downside, MACD bearish, a stochastic RSI sell signal, so not looking good, guys, not looking good. Now, are there coins that can still run a little bit? Like I said, yes, there are some coins that they have a little bit juice left. GRT is one of them. GRT has a little bit juice left. GRT could go all the way up here into the resistance of 30.6 cents. So how much is this? This is currently like 5% or something. See here. Yeah, 5.4% is what GRT can still move. Again, risk to reward, guys. Do you want to risk that, to try to catch here 5% and then run into resistance and then potentially see something like this? And I see actually something like this here more likely to be happening, going all the way back down to 21 cents. So I rather buy here and ride this then on the way back up, so because that is a 31% drop, if I can get GRT 30% cheaper than buying it now and ride 5%, so imagine what you make on the way back up, So look at this here, on the way back up to the same level, we're talking about 45%. So this is what I want. I don't care about 5%. This is what I'm looking for. So, and even if we only go to the golden ratio and start then running again, almost 22%. This is what I'm looking for, So, and look, the move here to the upside is unsustainable, So this is an unsustainable move. And how do you see that? When you draw a trend line and you see the angle, the sharp angle that we are going up, and you see price starting to move away from that angle that is already pretty sharp. And at some point, it looks like that we go almost in a 90-degree angle to the upside, and then okay, the end is close. When you see price only moving like this, you know that we are close to get a move to the downside. Now another coin. So here I'm guilty, because I tried to trade this today, is Uni. Uni was today above $13.07 and was holding there quite well today, really well. And I was like, okay, this looks good. I might want to risk, to trade this into here $16. So Uni is one of these coins that potentially can move another 30%. And I'm going to show you here in a moment why. So you see here 31%. The reason is that wick over here. Because if I go to a weekly chart, look at this, that wick here, $17. So what happens is that you have in some coins resistance levels that get broken. like hit this box. So that was prior resistance. It gets broken. And then the next major resistance comes in where you have these kind of wicks. So because the wick is created by a lot of selling pressure, and that tells you, okay, there's the next bigger resistance. And the price always comes back to fill these wicks to the top. So what usually doesn't happen a lot is that price starts going up here and stops here. When we are so close to fill the wick, usually it goes exactly to the top of the wick or even a little bit higher and then reverses to the downside. So that's why I'm saying if Uni can manage to close today above $13, above $13, there is a huge probability that it will go all the way up here into that big sell block. You see here's currently a lot of selling orders in Uni. So that is one of these coins that can potentially still run a huge amount before we are pulling back. But again, you don't want to put the house, the house now on that trade because it can just keep rejecting from that $13 level, and it starts going lower. So and that's why you only trade with small amounts. Now, optimism is also, when I go here to a higher time frame, you're going to see that we are at the golden ratio currently, chopping in between the golden ratio. That is resistance. So the indicator's going down already. You don't want to trade something like this right now. So for a scalp, if you find here on the 15 minutes something, so maybe so here's something what you could technically do. So as long as we are staying in that range of the golden ratio, let's see how big that range is. So that is a 4% range. So that is good enough for scalping. So what you can technically do is you can trade the bounces at the bottom and sell here at the top resistance, and trade here these bounces. But I would only do this with longs. I would not try to short the top and close at the bottom and open at the bottom along again to the top and rinse and repeat that. So I would only every time long when we get here to the bottom and then sell at the top here again. So that is for scalps, if you want to scalp with small amounts, but not huge amounts, guys. Don't put don't sell your wife, your house, your car, and everything, and try now to scalp with that money in between, So only with like 5 to 10% of the money that you have, and with the rest you want to sit on the sidelines. Now, Sui is another one that I'm currently trading. So why am I trading Sui? Because we are at the order block. And earlier today, it also looked like that we are breaking the downward sloping trend line. And Sui is actually one of the coins that does not really care as much as other coins, what Bitcoin is doing, and also what Ethereum is doing. So Sui is like its own thing. You have some coins in the bull run that they just do their own thing regardless of what other coins are doing. And Sui is one of them. So Sui is still pulling back here a little bit. So, but on the 4-hourly chart, it is about to bottom out. On the higher time frames, on the daily, I will admit it doesn't look good. So it can drop all the way down here into that golden ratio before it bounces back to the upside. On the weekly, also only stochastic not looking good. The rest is okay. On the 12-hourly, 12-hourly here again. So I don't like how the stochastic is looking. The RSI is going down. Only the MACD is not looking too bearish, but also I have seen this in the past, in a MACD like that can easily also turn around and you get more downside on Sui, So also not the best coin, honestly, to be in. I should have not opened that trade when I did, but it's fine, So then Telegram hit our target, I think. Yes, it did. So our Telegram trade went well, amazing. So congratulations to everybody that was in this trade that I had given just yesterday. So everybody made their money. I closed a little bit too early, I'm gonna admit, so I closed it a little bit higher than where we are currently. I closed it at $6.88, I think, because stop loss. I had a stop loss and it kicked me out. So it kicked me out. And the same with Arbitrum. So you should be a little bit more in profit than me. I'm sitting here with $573, and I will now trade a little bit more aggressive. So we're gonna use more capital because I was running yesterday some simulations, how many trades we need to make to get to $10,000, and at the current pace, we're not gonna make it in 3 weeks. So I have to get a little bit more aggressive in the trading approach, that we will be able to do that, but we will still use low leverage. Low leverage, but more aggressive, more capital that we deploy. So here another reason also for why I had to. So actually, the reason why I had the $7 mark as a level where I want to get out on that trade is when I draw here a line. You see here a lot of times we got rejected from $7 until we broke it over here. And then once we created the all-time high, it came back down. And then again, every single time got rejected. So I was pretty sure when we get to $7, we get rejected from there. Hence why I had the take profit at the $7 mark. So and now you see sniper take profit point. We had a sniper entry for that move, and we made our money. So now we move on to the next coin. So and actually you have to get out. Trust me, guys. With the strategy that I have for the $10,000, you have, if you did not have to take profit there, and now you maybe even did not have a stop loss, you need to get out of that trade. So take the money that you made on it and get out right now. So because otherwise, trust me, you'll get into problems later with the trading approach. So we're also going to get to Arbitrum in a moment here. On Render, Render might be one of the other coins that also is still running just a little bit, because here on the daily we still have technically 2 days where we can go higher on the stochastic RSI. The 4-hourly chart is not looking all too bad, so we are consolidating while indicators are coming down, which is always a good sign, so that just means we are gearing up for another move to the upside. But we are also limited to the upside because we can go up here another 5-6%, maybe all the way up to potentially 10%. But then I also expect that we turn around here. But this is one of the coins that I'm watching currently, potentially for the next trade on ZoomX that we are going to take. Now, Avi is also one of the coins I'm currently looking at. And look at this at a weekly chart, because same thing that I had just shown you on Uni. Here, the next level of resistance from current price is 26% away. So actually, if we close tomorrow above 200, what is it? Here, above $200, I would be longing this, because AVI might run to $260 before we pull back. So because on the daily chart, let's have a look on the daily. On the daily, we potentially get a buy signal if everything stays the way that as it is on the stochastic. The RSI is going up, is bullish, not even close to be overheated, and the MACD is bullish. So that might be a really good trade here for our ZoomX competition. I'm just thinking about if we would enter this now, how much can we go down here? Okay, 24%. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to see what's going to happen here a little bit more. So if I see opportunity here on a lower time frame to get a nice entry, then I'm gonna take it. But otherwise, I still wait on Avi for that. Then the next one, Rune. Rune can also still run a little bit higher into that resistance here of $6.60. So which is also not so much anymore. So this another 6% move to the upside that it can run. But also then when I go here into the higher time frames, you see, so okay, maybe a little bit higher. So to fill here this wick up here, $6.73 from current price. So here another 8%, and then I also expect that it's pulling back because we're running into that resistance here. So you see, altcoins have not so much juice left anymore to run here massively to the upside. We start running here into really big resistance levels. Look here, $6.73. What happened the other times that we were running into it? Rejected, try to break it, rejected, try to break it, rejected. Then here a couple of weeks ago, rejected. So these are higher timeframes resistances that we are approaching, which make it really, really likely that we get another rejection first before we are smashing through them. Are there some coins that are going to smash through them first before they come down? Yes, there will be some of them, but many, 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 many out there actually will not. So, and again, you don't want to play hot potato, to find out who is holding at the end or who is not ending, who is holding at the end the hot potato, So you don't want to be that person, the last person that is holding that hot potato, So you don't want to be that person, So when the music stops, and that's why you want to make sure that when we are so close to these resistances, that you are not trading anymore these coins, So you rather wait and see what's going to happen around that resistance, and then we make a decision. One of the coins that surprised me today was actually Theta. But also Theta, that I told you guys, I closed my trade when we were like kind of up here, and now it ran another 20%, another 20%. But here, big sell order block, so that we are currently running into. And here's the wick, at $3.81. But on the weekly chart, I think there's another one. Yeah, here, that level of $3.11, So can we run up here another, what is that, 10% to $3.11? Yes, we can, but look at the stochastic RSI, on the weekly, rolling already heavily overextended. So also here, a small pullback has to happen. And on the daily, the same thing. On the daily, if it's loading, look at this here. Heavily overbought, also the RSI heavily overbought on the daily. So this is coming down really, really soon, So, and again, I have money on the sideline that I made on the original Theta trade that I just going to deploy when this thing is turning around, So, and I expect this to come back to at least $2.20, $2.20, and then it will run past $4, and that's how I'm going to trade this. Now Arbitrum, and then I'm gonna have a look in the chat really quick because I did not look at all for a long time. So Arbitrum here at resistance at what is that, 96 cents 0.7 ish, 8. 96 cents 8. If we can break above that level, it's going to go to $1. So I'm out since, let me not lie to you guys. Let me check. Since when I'm out of Arbitrum, I think almost 96 cents. That's when I got stopped out. Yeah, 96 cents. That's where I got stopped out on Arbitrum. 96 cents. So more or less, yeah, a cent. So where we are currently at. So why 96 cents? Because on, I think the 15 minutes chart or something, I saw a candle before on 96 cents where it said, okay, I used that as a stop loss. Was here somewhere. Here, yes. See here, that was support. And that's why I had my stop loss there. I was like, okay, if we're losing here 96.2 cents, 96.3 cents, I have it a little bit lower, at 96, and it wicked me out. So, but we are 3% away from the stop loss. From the take profit level. If you're still in Arbitrum, you might have, let's see. Yeah, you have a good chance that we're hitting $1 first. So there is a decent chance on the 1 hourly chart that we hit $1 first. So, but if I would have a stop loss still at 96 cents, guys. Set a stop loss at 96 cents. So if you get lucky, we touch $1 and you're out on the take profit. If not, you run away with profit on the stop loss. So that's how I would play that. So now another one more coin, guys. Important, this coin. It's really, really important, guys. Then I look at in the chat what's going on there. So here, Curve. Remember Curve when it got hacked and the founder got almost liquidated, and it crashed like crazy, here, like when it came here all the way down from, what was it? It actually came down first from $1. So here from $1.11, that's when that big drop actually really happened, So this is bear market stuff, over here. That's not really, that was not a huge problem, So the big problem for Curve started at around $1. when they got hacked, you know, so then the founder got almost liquidated. He had to liquidate some of his curve shit, you know, that he had on lending on other platforms. You know, it was a clusterfuck, you know, so and that led to that it dropped all the way down here, first to 40 cents and then all the way down here to 20 cents. Now, Curve is one of the most hated coins still out there because of everything what happened in the last 12 months. And I'm telling you, Curve is a coin that can pull an XRP move. You know, so it will happen when we break this level here. That is the level, 89 cents. When we break 89 cents and a little bit higher, 89 cents to 96 cents, once we break this range here, you're gonna see that this is running really quickly, really fast to like $2.40, because there's no real resistance in between. You know, okay, we have a wick here at $1.58, but real resistance for Curve starts at $2.38 on the weekly chart. So this is still good if you want to buy it on spot, you know, because we are 4x away from the next major resistance point. You know, you see also on the weekly chart these order blocks. You know, we have here resistance, and then the next resistance is up here. You know, and in between you have basically nothing, and that's why Curve can run on the weekly chart really quickly in 3-4 weeks all the way up here to $2.40. So, and that is a trade where I will put in maybe $5,000, you know, so I'm gonna put in $5,000, and now look at this, at that return. I'm gonna put in $5,000, and this is going to run 3.2%, 3.2x. Let it be 3.2x. So it means if I only would trade this on spot, I would already make over $16,000. So now I'm not trading this on spot. You know, I'm gonna use 5x leverage. So now my $16,000 become $80,000 when I close that trade. So that is how I'm going to trade coins like that. You know, so $80,000 within potentially 6 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter. But this is how you make life-changing money. You know, when you spot coins like this, you know, that have the potential to run back here to these kind of levels. So now, like I promised, now I'm gonna have a look here in the chat. Let me pop out the chat that I actually see what's going on here. There we go. That's much better. So want to go all the way back up. So there. I just told you where I'm going to buy CRV, so no reason to talk about this. You mean my 500, my $100 account? Ah, you mean the Alpha X account. So the Alpha X account is still here. You know, I still have my limit order for Phantom here with all the money that I made. You know, so this is still there. I'm just waiting. You know, I'm just waiting. So, but this account is at $2,200 right now. From $160, $180, cannot remember how much it was. You know, so this account 10x, you know, in less than a month. So now I'm just waiting, you know. So now let me go to, what was another good one? So Phantom, yeah, somebody actually asked about Phantom. I was like, did I talk about Phantom yet or not? So here, Phantom, also one of the coins that I currently don't want to trade. You know, actually, I was tempted today. I was tempted on that break here. I was like, shit, should I enter now? You know, should I enter Phantom? You know, should I try to trade this here to like $1.13? You know, back to that resistance here. Should I do it? You know, so I was trigger happy. I'm gonna admit it. You know, I was really, really trigger happy on that. And in the end, I did not do it. I did not do it because I said to myself, no, we are so close to that resistance. We most likely get rejected, maybe even before we're going to reach it. I'm not doing that. You know, I'm not going for that 2-3% move here, all the way up here. Okay, that would have been like a 5% move. I don't go for that 5% move. The risk is too high, you know, too high to do that. So even though we broke this downward sloping trend line, you might still have to adjust it a little bit. So because we have now here 3 touch points along that downward sloping trend line, which makes it a valid downward sloping trend line. Every time when you have 3 or more touch points, a trend line becomes valid. So now this is the current resistance of the downward sloping trend line. So, and as long as we are not breaking that, so first of all, I would not enter that before we are breaking it. And the next thing is I would still not enter it before we are not above $1.13, So again, I still expect when we go to the higher time frames that we are coming down here. So, and look at the weekly chart for Phantom. So where we are at, we are close to that wick up here. So the highest that Phantom can run before it comes a little bit down is $1.22. So here's the other thing with Phantom that I want to mention, guys. Phantom has the Sonic upgrade coming in December. So that means Phantom is most likely to pull back next week to get the healthy pullback that it needs for the huge run that's going to happen in anticipation of the Sonic upgrade. So Phantom is one of the coins, that's why I have so much limit orders on Phantom, where I want to take as much as advantage of that run into that upgrade that I can. So the upgrade is happening, as far as I know, on the 27th of December, if I read it correctly. So there is a potential almost 4 weeks of massive gains in Phantom to run this up, So, and I want to be in it when either we break $1.22 or 23, what it is, $1.23, when we break above that level, because then we break resistance, or I just wait for that pullback. That's most likely happen next week, And you see here the next bigger support zone below on the weekly chart is 95 cents, So, and I told you many times, around that level, that's when I start slowly buying all the way down to 84 cents. I still believe that 84 cents is here in the cards for Phantom. And that's why I want to load up before that run for Sonic is happening, because that Sonic run, that could get us to like $2, $2.50 maybe even, So this might be a really, really crazy run that we get for Phantom. So let's hear Arweave. Yeah, I'm going to have a look at Arweave. Ripple can run right now to $3. Let me actually show you first another coin that I'm interested in. That is FXS. So FXS also here. Next major resistance is $4.04. So here again, before we get a major pullback, this can run to $4.04, which is also 22% away, from current price. So, but you have to look at lower time frames to get an entry. Here, 4-hour chart, not interested. Daily chart, kind of okay. So, but then you have to look here on the 1-hourly chart, also not interested. So here you might need to wait. If you make a limit order at like $3.12, you might get filled there, So, and then you trade this to $4.04. That's how I would do that for that coin. So let me have a look here at Arweave quick. So Arweave, where's my Arweave chart? Wait, I need to go. Let me do this on the curve one. So Arweave. So Arweave on the weekly. Yeah, here $27. So here, that is another 10% that Arweave can also jump here. 11%. And then I expect it to come down. So the nice thing about Arweave, on the other hand, is there is still so much more upside to come for Arweave. Yeah, here. So it just broke this downward sloping trend line. So if it closes tomorrow at that level here, in next week, it might go first to that resistance before it's going down. So on the daily chart, let me also have a look here on the daily chart. On the daily chart, yeah, you see here $100 million worth of sell orders all the way up to $27.58. So and here we are also just trying to break on the daily chart above a resistance level. Look at this here. So former support, look here at all that support in the past. This is super clean. Now here that lower high is resistance. We are running into resistance. So I would definitely not enter this right now. Not right now. Only if we close the daily, I would maybe even wait until tomorrow to see how tomorrow's candle is looking before I would enter this. Guys, we're almost an hour here in the stream. I have to run again. I'm getting hungry. Thank you so much for tuning in here. Guys, you know what to do. If I see something that we can trade, I'm going to post it in the Telegram group this time. I'm going to stick around here a little bit watching at the charts to try to find something, but I will not force it, you know, so if there's nothing to trade, we are not trading. But thank you so much. Don't forget, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I see you with more money in your account tomorrow.